Hey, welcome to another episode of Let's Talk About, natural English for busy people like you. And today we're talking about travel. That means we're looking at lots of useful everyday words and phrases like make a quick trip to the shop, a bike person, getting a return to Weston-Super-Mare, being herded on and off the plane, you can't stretch your legs, head off the beaten track, rediscover what we've got on our own doorstep, and many, many more. So yeah, let's talk about travel. Yeah, travel. Yeah, travel. Or is it trips or journeys? Okay, we've got confused right at the beginning. So let's clear this up straight away. Travel, trip, and journey. Generally speaking, travel is a verb. So you travel to India, or travel around Europe, or travel to Windhoek on business. And, well, just use it as a verb. It's a verb. Use it as a verb. It can be a noun, but when we use it as a noun, we use it usually in the plural to refer to a whole bunch of trips. Not just a short 1-week holiday in Mallorca, but going from one place to another. So when I think of this, I always imagine young backpackers, young travelers with backpacks, the ones, you've seen them around, usually a bit hippie-ish. These backpackers hitchhiking from place to place without a care in the world. So you could say stuff like, I made a lot of new friends on my travels. What did you do on your travels? And she kept a huge photo collection that recorded her extensive travels of the Middle East in the early 20th century. So what about trip and journey? Well, a journey just involves going from A to B. It doesn't matter if it's down to the shops or to the moon. Home to destination. A to B equals one journey. A trip involves more than one journey. In my book, 102 Little Drawings That Will Help You Remember English Rules Forever, probably, I've got a little image to show you this. See? So you might go on holiday to Canada, which involves leaving your home, getting a plane to Ottowa, there's one journey, and then hanging out in Canada for a while, maybe going to the national park and back, a couple of journeys there, and then back home, another journey. All of that together, that was your trip. Your Canada trip, to be precise. A trip doesn't have to be big, though. You can make a quick trip down to the shop to pick up some bread, or a little trip into town when you think you've been in the house all day staring at your laptop for too long. And how do we travel? Well, there are loads of different ways. You can get something. You can get a train, you can get a bus, get a plane, you can get a helicopter, you can get a minibus, you can get a tram, get the metro, or get a taxi. Or if you don't like get for some weird reason, then use take. So you can take a train, take a bus, take a plane, and, you get the idea. Get or take, they're both fine. You can also talk about using transport more specifically by using a verb and the word by. So you can travel by bus or go by helicopter or come back from your mum's vegetable party by night bus. Those parties do get very late and sometimes confusing. Yeah. What's that? Oh, hang on. You don't like any transport? You're mad. Well, by mad, I mean healthy, because you went to your mum's vegetable party on foot, meaning you walked. But yeah, all of this is very specific. What if you want to talk about the sort of transport you sort of generally use? I mean, are you a bike person or a bus person or a walker? How do you get around? Maybe you get around on scooter, or perhaps you get around by taxi because you have money to burn. Or maybe you just like getting around on foot so you can experience the world around you more intimately. By the way, while we're talking about transport, let's clear up that whole get on, get in thing. You know what I'm talking about, right? I mean, do you get on a taxi or get in a taxi? Do you get on a boat or get in a boat? I was puzzled about how to explain this for a long time. And then one day someone actually gave me a simple hack for this, which works most of the time. Here it is. If you can stand up, then you say get in and get out of. If you can't stand up, then you say get on and get off. So it's get in a car or get in a taxi, and maybe if you're quite tall, get in a minibus because, you can't stand up. And it's get on a plane, get on a boat, and get on a motorbike even because you can stand up. And still, on the topic of public transport, how do we legally get on a bus or a train or a plane? Well, we usually need tickets. We might get a single ticket or simply a single, or a return ticket, or often just a return. So you might find yourself at a train station getting a single to Birmingham New Street, or at a bus station getting a return to Weston-Super-Mare. Great place, but you definitely want a return for that one. You really don't want to get stuck there. And also, you might just want to bunk the train or bunk the bus, somehow getting on without buying a ticket. And of course, these days we're very, very used to getting tickets online, especially plane tickets. Planes. It's really weird. I used to love flying. I travelled a lot when I was a kid, and I remember a period of not having been on a plane for a while. We were driving in England somewhere near an airport, and I saw a plane, fly above us. And I really, really wanted to be on it. So I said to my parents, "Hey, Mum, Dad, it's been a while since we've been on a plane. Why don't we just, get one for fun?" They ignored that. It's strange thinking about that now, because now I hate flying. I mean, it's not what it used to be, that's for sure. Gone are the days of luxury flights where the crew tended to your every need. Now we have these awful budget flights where you feel like cattle being herded on and off the plane. There's never any leg room, and they always try to sting you with hidden costs like choosing your own seat, taking baggage on with you, and you even have to pay for the water, which I'm pretty sure is actually illegal. Recently, they've even talked about charging people to use the toilets. By the way, that seat thing, here's a tip for that seat thing. If you're traveling with someone and you want a 3-seater to yourselves, just for the two of you, then try this trick. Choose the window seat and the aisle seat, leaving that awkward middle seat empty. It's very unlikely that anyone is going to choose that seat because everyone hates the middle seat, right? And if someone does turn up to sit between you and your partner or friend or whoever you're traveling with, then just ask to swap seats. They will be more than happy to swap with you because everyone hates that middle seat. Anyway, that's planes, but enough of planes. Let's talk about boats and ships. Boats and ships are much more fun. You can move around, take in the sea air. Even on a lot of ships, you can have a bite to eat, sit at the bar, and even go shopping. All while experiencing the soft up and down of the movements of the waves. Such a great way to travel, unless you don't have sea legs. So if you don't have sea legs, then you're probably going to get seasick, and it will not be a fun journey. So, what's an alternative? What about buses and coaches? Well, they're pretty boring really, aren't they? I mean, you're just sitting there all the time. You can't stretch your legs. Hey, you can't even go to the toilet. And if you're the sort of person who gets seasick, you're probably the sort of person who gets travel sick too. So, that's no good. What's left? Well, you know where this is heading, right? That's right. Trains. Trains are the best of the best, the ultimate way to travel. You can walk around, you can use the toilet, but there's so much more. Sometimes you get a compartment to yourself, which makes you feel like some sort of 19th century traveling aristocrat. And if it's an overnight journey, you'll even get a sleeper. That's amazing. It's like a hotel room, but moving. And you wake up to that soft chugga chugga, chugga chugga, chugga chugga. The best thing is when the train has a restaurant carriage. Sit down, have a drink, then feel like you're in an Agatha Christie book. But maybe not the Agatha Christie book where literally everyone on the train killed a guy. Yeah, not that book. Anyway, what about stuff to do when you reach your destination? Maybe you're the kind of person who likes to rent a car when you arrive somewhere and just drive around the city, or even drive around the country, staying in hotels, hostels, or even Airbnbs. You might want to check out all the classic tourist stuff, places on the tourist trail. Or maybe you prefer to head off the beaten track to the more obscure corners of the world. This can actually be pretty fun and can certainly give you a unique experience away from hordes of tourists and instead lead you to more authentic experiences. Although, to be fair, this will, from time to time, lead you to walking down some nondescript road between a laundrette and a closed-down restaurant with a confused local staring at you, clearly asking himself the question that you've already formulated in your own mind. What are you doing here? There's nothing here. Yeah, sometimes travelling can lead to a real existential crisis. I mean, we go on holiday to get away from it all, right? But the problem is, you're still there, right? Here's Russell Brand explaining this problem.
Isn't it like when you go away on holiday, you think, oh, I better go away from holiday, cheer myself up, get away from it all. But when you go on holiday, you're there. So it's shit. Can't get away from you.
All of this may lead us to ask the question, why travel? I mean, why do we do it? Well, some say that it broadens your horizons, it gives you a fuller understanding of the world, you can soak up local culture, and you can get a better idea of who you are by seeing how we're all very different, but how we're also somehow all the same. But can a 2-week holiday really give you this feeling? Is it even ethical to just go somewhere and pointing and looking at everything and then just leaving? The way people treat tourists is surely different from the way people treat each other, right? And with the climate emergency being more of a thing, isn't it a better idea to just avoid flying? And surely mass tourism can have devastating effects on local communities, culture and wildlife. And after a few days on a beach, thousands of miles from home, you might start to pine for your hometown and your friends back home. You might get homesick. Maybe it's best just to stay at home after all. I don't know the answers to these questions, but what do you think? Is tourism and travel an old-fashioned, romanticized thing that's gone out of control? Should we travel a lot, or should we try to rediscover what we've got on our own doorstep? Speaking as someone who has traveled all my life, I'd love to hear what you think. Do you go abroad or overseas for your holidays? Do you live in a different country from the one you're from? Do you think travel broadens your horizons, or is it a superficial indulgence? I would love to hear from you. Let me know in the comments what you think. And yeah, let's talk about travel. Okay, but there's one more thing left to talk about, right? It's the rules of YouTube. You know the rules of YouTube. If you liked the video, if you enjoyed it, maybe you got something out of it, maybe you got a kick out of it, yeah, hit like, hit subscribe. Obviously, it does me amazing favors, but also it means that I'm able to keep making videos like this in the future. So yeah, there's my blackmail there. But yeah, meanwhile, thanks for watching, and yeah, it was great to do. I love doing these, and yeah, I'll see you next time.